Of the many ways to carry a handgun, strong side, appendix, cross draw, shoulder, ankle, chest, and MOB, or middle of the back, IWB, or OWB, a holster to do so is the main component. If you are like me, you have a host of holsters from which to choose for your handgun or handguns and your favorite method of carry. Or you may have one or more holsters for your favorite handgun or handguns, of which may also work with other comparable handguns. May also have holsters of which you no longer use, as we tend to shop around, try different holsters, and either accept or reject them. Lately, I have been bouncing back and forth between shoulder holster carry and the cross-draw carry for cool and cold weather packing. While holster rigs for shoulder carry are plentiful, holsters for cross-draw carry are not so plentiful. I have found two, however, that I really like, and if you stick with me for a bit, I'm going to tell you all about them. I find myself rotating between pistols and revolvers for everyday carry, and I have a variety of which that are selected for the carry rotation. During warm to hot weather months, the carry is usually a smaller, lighter firearm. As I evaluate handguns, I find myself researching and sometimes evaluating holsters for them for the carry and conceal segments of the review videos. One of my favorite holsters is the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.5 IWB holster, which fills my need for a 1911 of any size and also several Glock standard, compact, and subcompact pistols that I carry. This holster, I find, is easy to set up for strong side or cross-draw carry in under a minute. For revolver carry, several Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.0 IWB concealed carry holsters for revolvers has filled the need for large, medium, and small revolver carry. Both the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.5 IWB holster and Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.0 IWB concealed carry holster for revolvers are reasonably priced and very adaptable. Lately, I had been looking at OWB holsters, specific for cross-draw carry. I ran across two holsters, one for a variety of 1911 length pistols and one for K-frame revolvers up to 4 inches that I like to carry. These two holsters are produced by Craft Holsters, the distributor of Felco holsters, and which are not available through Felco holsters. The first is the Raptor open-top cross-draw holster for semi-automatics, and which I have for my 1911 pistols. This is model CH4015. The second is the Raptor open-top cross-draw holster for revolvers, and which I have for my K-frame size revolvers, and this one is model CH4131. Although the holsters are intended for a specific type of handgun, they both share common traits, so let's take a look at those first. Obviously, both Raptor holsters are specifically designed for cross-draw carry. Both are handmade products. One person starts the build process, and the same person completes the build process. Both feature premium Italian leather with a lacquered finish. Both are offered in two colors, mahogany and black. I chose black to help in concealing the holster, although my ego really likes the mahogany and the contrasting stitching. All Felco craft holsters are double-stitched in stress areas for extra durability. These two holsters are of the open-top, open-muzzle design with no thumb brake. No thumb brake is needed, as these holsters have a unique retention system that I will cover in a bit. The one thing that I really like about these holsters is the convenient 65-degree draw angle and height. Most cross-draw holsters that I have tried previously had an angle that placed the butt of the firearm too close to the belt line. I found that when retrieving the firearm, my hand had to get wedged between the grip and the belt. I prefer a bit higher angle, almost to the vertical, when trying to retrieve the handgun from a cross-draw position, whether I am standing or sitting. Both of these holsters answer my need. A slightly forward-leaning 65-degree cant is evident. The holster's cant prevents the rear of the pistol or revolver from poking into the body when worn, for the most part. Both holsters are compatible with a 1.5-inch wide gun belt and no wider. The belt is fed through the first belt slot at the front of the holster and passes through a thick slot in the back of the holster. I'll talk about positioning the holster a bit later. The height of the two holsters offers great stability and high natural retention. The 1911 holster can house a 5-inch government model or a shorter commander or officer-length pistol, without the holster leaning outward when carried, as long as the belt is stiff enough to prevent such. The more depth and width of the holster and belt stiffness usually equates to more stability when worn. I ordered the revolver version for 4-inch revolvers for the same reason. Even if carrying a 2-inch snubby, the holster is stable against the body. I just hate it when a holster flops around, don't you? As I mentioned, currently, the Raptor open-top cross-draw holster is only available for right-handed shooters. Both holsters have a reinforcement band at the opening, which prevents the top of the holster from closing up when the firearm is out of the holster. In addition, an extension at the top of the holsters provides a guide of sort when holstering the firearm. This extension is by no means a sweat guard. With the 1911 version, I found no issue with the extension interfering with the thumb safety. There is also an outward flare at the top of the holsters to assist in holstering the firearm. Between the reinforcement band, extension, and top of the holster flare, holstering a firearm becomes a one-handed affair. Gee, I almost made it rhyme. With the band, extension, and flare, holstering is a one-hand affair. Okay, enough of that. While not a pancake style of holster, the profile of both is very slim. The top of the revolver holster is, of course, the widest point and is necessary to accommodate a revolver cylinder. For both holsters, and with an adequate cover garment or garments, the holsters just seem to melt away into obscurity, not to be seen until I need them to be, if at all. Both holsters are molded to a specific firearm, although both holsters can accommodate different firearms. For example, when I ordered the semi-automatic version, it was for a Colt 1911 5-inch. As you can see, a Smith & Wesson Performance Center 1911 and 9mm, a Ruger SR 1911 Lightweight Commander Style 4.25-inch and 45 ACP, a Kimber Stainless 2, or a Ruger 1911 Officer Style also fits well. The revolver holster was ordered for K-frame revolvers up to a 4-inch barrel. The Rossi RP63, a Rock Island Armory Model 200, a Ruger SP101 2¼ inch, a Taurus 856 Defender, or a Kimber K6S all fit very nicely, as will other K-frame revolvers. Currently, the revolver holster accommodates 6-shot and not 7-shot revolvers. I need to add something with regard to positioning the holsters. Don't expect them to just slide into position easily. No sir or ma'am, this will take some effort. While the front belt loop allows a belt to slide through easily, the loop on the body of the holster takes some effort to feed the belt through. Normally, I wear what is called a liner belt, which is intended to lie beneath a duty belt that is secured either by duty belt straps or by a Velcro duty belt backing. The liner belt, by design, is thicker than a normal belt because of the Velcro lining. It took quite a bit of effort to force the liner belt through that rear belt loop. I found it easier to get the holster mounted on the belt, lay the belt and holster against the body, then adjust the holster's position as close to where it needed to be. Then, and after I threaded the belt through the belt loops on my trousers, only a small holster positioning adjustment might be called for. After the holster was broken into my belt, it did slide easier, but it will certainly not slide on the belt once secured in place. I just thought that I would pass that on. With each semi-automatic holster, there is a buildup of material at the front of the holster, which forms a nub, if you will. As the belt is tightened, the front of the holster is pulled into the body. This action causes the nub to push inward, and which presses against the firearm to secure it into place. Bend over or jump up and down, no matter. The firearm is not going to detach itself from the holster. With a revolver holster, the holster is form-fitted at the cylinder. As the revolver is inserted fully into the holster, a lip hangs over the cylinder, fully encasing it securely. In fact, when the holster is new and not yet broken in, the hold on the revolver is very secure. I'll talk about breaking in both holsters later. Let's head into carry positions. There is actually a primary carry position and a secondary carry position. I'll talk about weak side carry first. There are those who carry cross-draw with the holster being positioned close to the front of the body on the weak side. Granted that this can mean a quick short motion to get to the firearm. It also means that, and if you cover the carry with a garment, a wind can blow the garment open to reveal the carry. That is usually not a good thing. I prefer a more to the side carry position, almost to the position where I would carry a vertical shoulder holster, but slightly forward on the hip. When worn in this position, I still have easy access to the firearm. The firearm is pointed more toward the outside of my hip, and I really don't concern myself with not concealing the firearm. But wait, I am not through yet. For those who like appendix carry and are right-handed, there is somewhat of a trade-off position to the right front of the body. The cant of the holster positions the firearm's handle to the rear of the body, but at a reverse cant that can be useful when concealing the firearm and is not all that odd after a bit of training when drawing the firearm, whether seated or not. Let's take a quick look at that position. The angle of the holster is not unlike that of a fast draw holster used by competition shooters. This is my last choice for carrying a cross-draw holster, as it does place the muzzle toward the femoral artery when seated, but not so much when standing. Drawing the firearm requires bending and twisting the body to the left while drawing the firearm from the holster. It is best used for drawing short-barreled firearms, like a snub-nosed revolver or a semi-automatic pistol, because of the angle the shooting arm must be in to withdraw the firearm. But it is still doable with a long-barreled firearm. Since the butt of the firearm is to the rear and somewhat into the belly area, the butt conceals easily as it is pressed more against the side, rather than facing forward, as with the weak side cross-draw position. While I don't advocate appendix or this means of carry, I thought that I would throw it out there for those that do favor this type of carry. Are there any downsides to cross-draw carry? Good question. No downside that I can readily think of off the top of my head, any more so than downsides of carrying strong side. Cross-draw carry has been around for a long time. Cowboys carried cross-draw, as it lessened the chance of losing the revolver, and places the revolver within easy reach should it be needed quickly while on horseback. When driving, cross-draw and shoulder carry are ideal for packing. Let me touch in on breaking in of the holsters. Both Craft and Felco have a wealth of information for holster break-in, and Craft offers a holster break-in kit with all the essentials for not only breaking in of the holster, but for maintaining the holster. With the model CH4015 for the 1911, no break-in was necessary. All of my 1911 pistols just slid right on in, made themselves at home. The revolver holster, model 4131, was a different story, but not a long one. When the holster arrived, it was essentially flat, with no cylinder contour to speak of. Once a revolver was fully inserted, the area that covered the cylinder snapped into place like a clamshell. It took a bit of effort to remove the revolver from the holster because of the lip of the leather that forms around the cylinder. After about 20 pulls of the revolver from the holster, the lip was beginning to get flexible enough to where the revolver was much easier to remove. For more information regarding break-in of any holster, I invite you to the Felco website FAQ section. That contains break-in information. I have provided a link in the description section. A holster, regardless if it is leather, fabric, or kydex, requires care and maintenance for longevity's sake. Again, I'm going to steer you to the Felco website's FAQ section, which should be able to answer all of your questions regarding how to properly care for a holster. Not just those made by Felco, but any holster. Alright, let me wrap this session up before I take up any more of your precious time. Both of the Raptor OWB cross-draw holsters fill my need for a good cross-draw carry. They are a well-made, cost-effective means to carry a concealed, or not, handgun in one of my favorite carry positions. Both holsters were in stock and available through Craft Holsters, and I received them both within a week, as these shipped from Slovakia, Europe. Craft Holsters also handles Felco holsters, Custom Shop Craft Holsters, and Vega holster brands, resulting in 80-plus brands and 2,000-plus gun models under the Holsters Company SRO umbrella. I think that these two holsters will see a lot of use over the years that I have left. In fact, I will be ordering one for Glock pistols that will work for a variety of Glocks, standard size, compact size, and subcompact size. If you need a quality holster, regardless of type, chances are it could be available for your particular handgun, whether it's for IWB, OWB, shoulder, light bearing, red dot, or chest. Craft Velcro holsters may be worth checking into. Well, thanks for coming in to see what I had to offer. Hopefully, you will partake in the Range Ronin Chronicles again. But before you do, stay vigilant, stay armed, and stay safe out there.